So yeah, today's gonna be fun. We're gonna strip out all the interior, all that hard work we did. Whatever episode that's gonna be hasn't even come out yet. Of us saving all the wire for the heater, we decided to go with an aftermarket unit because it's much more smaller, condensed, easy to wire. I basically wire power to it, and it's got a little turn knob that when you click it, it turns it on, and then you rotate it, and it gets faster, which is what we wanted out of the factory stuff, anyways. But we shed 15, 16, 20, whatever pounds of blower motor and all this other junk that we absolutely do not need. So I don't know how that other one works, how its blower motor works or whatever, but we'll figure it out. We won't use the factory blower motor, obviously, but we'll figure out how it all works. Oh look, they're not even in there. That's awesome. Is this one in there? This one is. I'm gonna hit a hole blind in the dark. See that? Pretty good. There you go. All this shitty wiring. Die. This I would actually like to salvage so it's not effed up. Yes, I know. I see that. You just got to get that around it, and voila! Oh, did you get something in the mail? Yeah. You're gonna have to help with Richard real quick. Oh yeah. You know what you're doing.
What?
Because you're going the wrong way. Right, bye.
I'm missing another freaking bolt. Oh, nope. Ah.
I'll say, you still got heater hoses you haven't undone back here. You got one heater hose right here. Well, that was one long day. We got all the rust dealt with. It wasn't really that bad. I was crossing my fingers. There was no real thin spots. There was no pit holes, nothing. There was some little bit of etching from the rust. But no big deal. The rust converter will deal with all that. It should be 100% fine. and it's just in those two areas. It's all going to be covered up, so if it's not 100% perfect looking, who cares? The idea was just clean everything up, make sure it's not rusty. Still got to stitch weld everything, but that'll come after we get the seats in what, 2 days? 3 days.
2 Thursday to Thursday.
Thursday.
Tomorrow's Wednesday.
Oh yeah, okay, today's Tuesday. Whatever, I lose track of time. Still got all the holes on the firewall to patch up because we're going to use our own. We're going to make our own. We want the wiring harness to come out a lot lower in the car instead of right there where it's visible. Other than that, I think we accomplished a lot today.
But we did.
And while you were gone, I pulled the cam out. See the cam sitting over there?
Yeah, I noticed.
We can't find anything wrong with it. Cam's fine, lifters are all fine. I have no clue. I think they tried to pop the motor over or fire it up or something when he got the truck here. And it was making all kinds of hellacious noises because the motor had water and all kinds of shit in it. So luckily it didn't like screw nothing up. Well, at least that we can tell. I'm just crossing my fingers the crank is fine. I really do not want to have to source the crank. If we do, it's an LS, they're pretty simple to find, but I'd rather not have to. It's another pain in the ass thing that we have to deal with. I still can't find an intake. Still can't find a subframe, so. You can see the area where all the surfacey rust is. It's had a converter sprayed all over it. And it really looks like, I don't know. My best guess is maybe judging by the pit hole and then the drop and then that over there. A kid spilled a drink in the car?
Maybe.
I mean, that's what it or Pete himself, herself. Because it's like here and then off in the edge and that part right there. Like, I don't have a clue. And there was a little bit here. I grinded the living heck out of it. And it doesn't look too bad. Oh, so close. So it's getting close. Of course, this will be flattened out, but it'll be cut off where it's all nice and pretty once I widen the over fender out and get the exact cut of how all this is going to come down. But it's getting there, and yeah, it's a little wonky. Just cut a piece of 2x4, and it's working. So, because none of this really matters, I'll come up, draw a line up underneath here. I'll chop it all off, and then we'll weld in a new piece. So, yeah. Seats, I guess, but the rails aren't here. They're coming tomorrow, even though they're picked up on the same day from the same place, shipped the same. But the little box makes it slower than the big box. Thanks, UPS. Give you a look at it. Passenger seat, because levers on that side. They're just a Spec D seat. Nothing spectacular, but it was cloth, which is what we wanted. And the dimensions from here to here is extremely narrow, which is what we wanted. We didn't want a really wide seat. Really wide seats and 240s don't match. Plus, really wide seats in a skinny bastard like me doesn't match either. I'm recording this the next day, but things are whatever. These seats are actually really comfy. They're set nice. They're, the butt pad, whatever you want to call it, is angled upward in the front, which is nice. That's how I drive around. I drove on my Z like that. I drove around the FRS like that, but it had adjusters. And this has really nice bolsters. I mean, it's really nice. It's a little bit smidgen wider than what we wanted, but we couldn't find anything any skinnier than this except for the FRS. I'm not paying $500 for factory seats. And then have to deal with pulling airbags and all that other junk out of it. But these are the Spec D, some kind of...
UPS is here.
UPS. Keep going way into depth, and I don't need to. This is not how I wanted to end the episode. We have the seat in, and it sits nice, it feels nice, and it makes me like Andre the Giant. It's not gonna work. And it's all in two things. The way the factory mounting system is, puts a seat higher than it actually needs to be, and you gotta think all the factory seats, like the sliders and all that, are up inside of it. These, it's mounted on the bottom. Now, as for the sliders, I'm not getting rid of them. I'm keeping the sliders, because that's only going to give me this much space. And as it sits right now, the sliders are perfectly fine. It's the same thing I had to do with my old 240, except for I will get a lot nicer with this one. We built some really janky brackets on the last one, and these are good brackets. I can reuse these. For the back, actually, I don't have to do anything to the back of the car. I know this from a fact. These tabs, I'll chop those off, get the bracket as low as possible, re-weld it, chop it, weld it again. And then on the front, I will literally build two flat boxes with the nuts on the back. I'll find out what nut fits these, go buy some new ones. And you put the nut on the back, weld it in, and you make a really shallow, flat box. And that allows you to then get the seat exactly the way you want it. Now, I'll start with a box that's probably a little bit larger than it needs to be, and then space it from there. As for exactly how I'm going to do it, I don't quite know. But these will be chopped off, and I'll probably put some heat to them and just flatten them out, and then weld them to the top, and it'll sit down. Because you're talking, if it welds flat, you're talking this much distance and this much distance, which is a lot, lower to the ground. I mean, I can get a good margin lower to the ground and put these seats smushed on the ground. So we should be fine. We'll figure that out, I don't know, whenever I'm done being pissy that the seats don't fit right. I knew they weren't going to. I knew in the back of my head they weren't going to. They never do. They always sit like this unless I think Bride makes a Lomax seat or something like that that actually is fully designed, that all the brackets are up higher up in the seat or something so it squats down better. Somebody makes a seat like that. I don't remember. Probably a bunch of companies do. But there's no way you're going to buy a budget seat that's that engineered. As for the brackets and stuff, they went on there just fine. I mean, everything bolts into the car really decently. These don't fit perfect, but when you put like torque to them to tighten down the bolts, they cinch right into place. I only have two on this one right now because I don't have a nut or a bolt for the back because used 240. As per the rest of my day, I'm going to go get to work. So, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. We're kind of experimenting with some things, see how you'll all like it, because now that we're getting the episodes all caught up where we're closer, we're going to do like 2 episodes a week and just make them longer, or do 1 episode a week and make it really long. I don't know. It depends on how the flow of things. I think that's the big thing, the flow, and how bad my day goes. Today's gone wonderful though. We've got a lot accomplished. All the patching on the car is done. All the stitch welding on the inside of the car is done. So, yeah. Oh, I take that back. There's one patch in the floorboard that has to, or the rocker that has to be fixed. That's not a big deal. It doesn't have to look good. It just has to do its purpose. I'll probably make it look good because then what if the side skirt gets splattered and somebody sees it? I don't know. Thank you for watching. I'm rambling again. Y'all have a good day. I'm going to go engineer some safety stuff.
Well, folks, it's time to kick it old school. So you can feel cool. Give it to me, baby. Baby. Yeah.